Okay, so we asked in our online poll whether Australia should follow the US in essentially calling for, in some way, the regulation of TikTok or the divestment out of China. It was almost split between those who think we should and those who don't think we should. Put your hand up if you use TikTok and you think it's a great resource. Quite a few of you. I'll go down here. Yeah, you're about to be on camera, so get ready with your thoughts. Do you think people should be it should be forced to be divested?
Absolutely not. That's anti-competitive practice. A lot of people, especially like lower middle class, small businesses, creatives, they rely on TikTok for their source of income, especially through COVID, after COVID, and banning that then pushes them onto platforms like Meta, Amazon, which are very known for their anti-competitive practice as well.
How about the idea that China can perhaps get access to the Chinese government can get access to your data? Does that worry you?
Meta's already doing that.
No, but the argument being they're not the Chinese government. Does that make a difference to you?
I think kind of similar to what Brian Green was saying, it needs to be a holistic perspective. Okay, Meta can't do it. ByteDance, I think TikTok's owner can't do it. It needs to be regulated at that level. I think it's crazy to target one platform.
I think it should be banned currently because of the issues around the Chinese government and the lack of transparency. It's still a dictatorship, and I think we should clarify those issues before we deal with it. Not just this platform, any platform connected to a dictatorship.
Hands up if you think we need a pretty tough regime for monitoring and regulating AI. Oh, well, that's pretty overwhelming. I'd love to hear from a couple of people on why you think we should be doing that. And in fact, I'm starting with you.
I'm actually not probably the best person to answer this question, Patricia.
Who is the best person?
The panel. But I think it was really interesting that the focus on looking at the people rather than the technology, I think personally is probably the key, because at the end of the day, it is a tool and it will be taught by us in its first instance. I think some of the problems around access to data, including with regards to ByteDance and others, is inextricably tied into that question in terms of what the point that Nadia was making about there's all these silos of information. I personally think that that's probably a bit pie in the sky to expect that companies will give up their most valuable commercial asset, or that the Chinese government will force the data of their citizens to be given to other countries as well. So I think that principles-based approach is probably best, but it's an extremely difficult question, and I'm glad I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, I know. And that's somebody else's issue. But we can have views, and that's why you've come along.
I think that the desensitization of youth through TikTok has been one of the main issues with TikTok, definitely amongst our generation, especially as high school students. I think the regulations, not only on TikTok, but also on meta platforms like Facebook and Instagram, where we're seeing instances of deaths, nudity, really inappropriate things that should not be shown to kids, not only over the age of 13, but under the age of 18. I think stricter regulations need to be put in place within Instagram, TikTok, and also Twitter's algorithm. I think the algorithm and the way that we have set up social media currently isn't working for how social media is being run, and also how media is being distributed throughout our generation especially. And we can see also that on TikTok and other things, there are sponsorships that are endorsing products that may not necessarily be good for anybody. There have definitely been so many scams and companies that are being promoted even by massive celebrities, where there will be products that should not be endorsed under any circumstances, because they not only impact, for example, Shein with their terrible working conditions, but also the products that they are making aren't of a good quality, and it's encouraging fast fashion, overall too much consumerism and not enough, focus towards climate change and the environment.
That's an interesting point. Thank you.